What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to be talking about the Springfield Armory Hellcat. People know that this, for a long time, was my number 2 in my carry rotation. This was my small go-to handgun, for warm carry and just if I need deep concealment with capacity, stuff like that. And I get a lot of questions. Do I still carry it? Is it still worth purchasing considering all the new releases that have been happening? Is it still a viable option for self-defense? And I think you already know the answer to that, but is this something I would still tell you to buy over other options? We're going to talk about that. Another thing I wanted to point out is a big thing I get over here, big comments, right, is how to save money. How do I keep up with my hobby? Stuff like that. How do I afford stuff like this in today's economy with inflation and how expensive literally everything is? And it gets even worse if you have kids. I have 3 kids. It's hard to raise a family right now. Life is expensive. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to try and help you guys as much as possible. It is going to be my goal to save you guys as much money as possible. I'm going to reach out to companies for you. Even if I get nothing in return, I'm going to get you guys discount codes and coupon codes because I like helping people out, and I have realized that a lot of people are struggling and a lot of people want to save some money. So we're going to do that over here. The first one is Optics Planet. I got the Defender CCW from Optics Planet. You can use code SPN SPNF, like Spin Firearms, SPNF. It'll only save you 7%, but at least it's something, it'll cover the taxes or whatever the case may be, and I just hope it helps you guys, right? But I did pick up this optic from them, and it was around $250, and I did use my own coupon code, right? And we're going to talk about this in another video. It may have already came out by now, but just want to let you know, this is an awesome budget-friendly option. For $250, you can't beat the Vortex Defender CCW. It has a beautiful dot. Yes, it's drowned out by the camera, so just imagine it being about a third of that size. I really like how tough it's built, how strong it is, how thick the sides are. The thing's built to last, and it's budget-friendly, so it is one of my favorite dots. Just wanted to point that out. Another coupon code that can save you is 10% off at Blacksmith Tactical. Ignore the taco, even though I like it. This is about function. 2 discrete carry clips, a claw, and a wedge. This is my go-to setup for everything. Gym shorts, sweatpants, bathing suits, snow pants. You can carry it all. Or you can carry this in all those. So, let's get into the video. Springfield Army Hellcat. A couple of my latest pickups were actually the big brother, the Hellcat Pro Comp. Shout out to Daniel Hegg. But anyways, I put an Apex trigger in it. This is the new release from Springfield. And obviously it's the bigger brother. And it has something to offer that the smaller one does not, right? And I've been shooting it a lot. And it's just ran great. Another pickup I got was actually an older handgun, but a Glock 48. And I love this thing. This is in my carry rotation right now. It's my largest handgun in my rotation. So I don't carry it as much as I would like to, but it's a great, great shooter, right? So with all these pickups, the point I'm trying to make is there's some awesome options out there. How does it fare to the Springfield Army Hellcat? Then the Shield Plus 30 Super Carry. This is a little budget setup. Once again, if you guys want to save money, I'm still trying to learn this pistol. I'm still trying to learn this caliber. I don't shoot this the best yet. I shoot 40s, 357 SIGs better. So I threw a cheap little dot on it, but my dot is ran since I got it back from SIG. This is my second time with this, but if you want a budget optic, I do prefer 100% the Defender. But if you want something that's about half the price of that, you can get the SIG Romeo. I don't recommend it though. You can buy once, cry once, and just get the the Vortex. But this handgun's $250 with rebate. I got it from Grab a Gun plus $150 and a Hoe grip for $10. This is a very cheap setup. On top of that, get a Blacksmith Tactical holster using code SPN for 10% off, and you can get a nice budget option. But I'm still learning this handgun, but I do really like the ergonomics. This is probably one of the most ergonomic setups I have. Getting a Hoe grip on it. This thing is probably one of my favorite setups. That's why I'm really going to try and learn it, because it's 13+1 with the flush mag and 16+1 with the mag that goes down to there. Absolutely love it so far. Just got to shoot it better. That's the only thing. That part of training and getting better, right? Then, the absolute #1 release of 2024 so far. The Walther is probably going to overtake it, but in my opinion, the M&P9 Shield Plus Carry Comp, it's better than the Performance Center 4-inch from what I'm told when you shoot them side by side. This thing was just really well made, texturing across the whole entire frame, and I really love this thing. Accurate as can be, smooth as can be, 100% reliable. Absolutely love it so far. And then another older pickup I got was the Beretta PX4 Storm. I definitely thought this was going to be in my carry rotation, but man, is it chunky, it's heavy, and sort of awkward to draw, but I really like it. As far as durability and strength and a tough firearm, this is it. It doesn't have the rotating barrel, but it's one of the flattest shooting handguns I own, and that trigger is just on point. And of course, they're all safety checked and cleared. Oh yeah, check out the little base bit. Boop, boop. Actually pretty dang cool, right? So with that being said, a lot of great guns on the table, right? From all different price ranges. You know, that's like $649. I got that for like $3 something used at a pawn shop, even though it looks like, or at a gun store, but it never had rounds through it. That's like $250 with rebate. I think I bought that used $400 off a buddy, and then this right here is about, I think, $6 or $650 for the comp. Whereas this Hellcat, you can find about everywhere for about $500. And you can even find the gear up package for about $515, $520, which comes with 5 mags, a bag, and an optics ready Hellcat. So where does this stand? Well, I have 3 of these small OG Hellcats. And to be honest with you, I'd be pretty disappointed if they still weren't my number 2 go-to. 100% the Hellcat is still my number 2 in the rotation. The only thing that I like more than the Hellcat is my Glock 26. And then number 3 has actually been taken up by the carry comp. I love this thing. The size makes it a little more uncomfortable, but still, it is so worth it for the shootability of this handgun and the versatility, how short it is. You can turn this thing into a dang near a full size that is ported, right? And then after that is going to go my Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro comp, and then my Glock 48. But still, the number 2 goes to my Hellcat. Why is that? It's simply the size. The size and reliability of this handgun are unbelievable. Now, I've taken down a couple Hellcats in the last couple months. I like learning firearms. The Hellcat is one of the best built handguns in the world. I don't care if it's made in Croatia. Croatia is a beautiful country and one of the most beautiful countries in that area. So when people say that, I don't mind my handgun being built in a nice, higher end, beautiful country, right? That's not a bad thing when you say it's built in Croatia. And on top of that, they're just built perfectly. One of my favorite features on it, obviously it's cleared and safety checked, is that double feed ramp. Not only did they give you a really nice polished feed ramp right from the factory, like a lot of companies, you have to literally run your firearm 1,000 rounds before that thing comes polished on its own, or you have to polish it. This thing is polished right out of the box, and it has a double feed ramp. So you see the barrel feed ramp? Right below it is another mechanism, just like a Walther PPS and stuff like that, that helps if that round does nosedive. But this thing has everything. Texturing, it has an awesome finish on it. It's optics ready, has a rail for the TLR7 sub, and they make one directly for the Hellcat. And once again, you can find holsters for that combination from Blacksmith Tactical. On top of that, great night sights right out of the box. Sorry guys, I'm shaking a little bit. I got to eat. But anyways, this thing is still my go-to. And the fact that you can throw a 17-round mag in it basically allows it to compete with all these other handguns. And on top of that, it is so dang thin and light. This handgun's small enough where you can still pocket carry it. I have 3 OG Hellcats, and I probably have, I don't know, 15 to 20,000 rounds between the 3 of them. This one being my least shot. Unbelievable. A lot of people struggle with that trigger. Throw a dot on there and really learn the trigger. Or if the trigger is giving you a problem, I kid you not, go to an Apex. The Apex is the cheat code on the Hellcats. You know, it's only going to run you $89 to $100. I'm sure they sell them on Optics Planet, so you can use the coupon code, and I hope it helps. But anyways, with the Apex, it completely changes that trigger. And I'll show you real quick, right? It's just lighter, crisper, cleaner. Still a little bit of over travel, but it just changes the overall feel when you are shooting it. I shoot the Hellcat trigger just fine, but I would say that is its #1 downside. See how stiff? It's a nice wall, but still very heavy brake, and then some over travel. All the Apex does, lightens it up a little bit. Nice, crisp, clean. It's about a pound lighter, and I really like it. But still, when I need something small, reliable, something I could potentially throw in my pocket, it's probably one of the best travel handguns in the world. If you travel the country and you bring your firearms everywhere like I do, this is the way to go. You can literally throw it in your pocket if you need deep concealment. You can throw that 17-round mag when you get back to the resort or hotel. I mean, I kid you not, this handgun can do it all. It's a beautiful, shape-shifting handgun. Now, it's just one of those handguns that people don't really like because of multiple reasons. Springfield Armory, you know, had that controversial anti-2A situation that wasn't even like higher up people in the company. If you guys know that whole story. On top of that, people say it's snappy, and on top of that, they have a hard time with that trigger. When you combine those 3 things, it sort of, you know, sends people away from the Hellcat. But that's why I've been a big advocate for the Hellcat. I have no ties to any firearm company. And I still think the Hellcat is the way to go. The texturing, Right out of the box, this is one of the handguns you're going to spend the least amount of money trying to upgrade or change or make better, because it's all there. You literally don't need anything but this, a holster. You don't even need a dot, but it does help, and some good carry ammo, and you're good to go. None of my Hellcats. I have the Hellcat Pro. I have the Hellcat Pro Comp. I have 3 of these, like I said, and they're all just flawless handguns. All my buddies, flawless. A lot of my buddies carry Springfields. They just do, because they run. It's nothing more than that. They're great shooters. They give you a lot out of the box, and they run. But anyways, my favorite setup, honestly, right now, other than my Glock 26, is the setup. I just got this dot. I love this dot. Paired with the Hellcat, it's still a very small package. But what I like about this setup is it's built like a tank. Look at the walls on the side of that dot. This thing is built to take a beating, to be carried aggressively, to train aggressively with, and nothing is going to happen to this setup right here. I just love it. This is my number 2 go-to, but I carry it more and more, considering that it's summertime. Someone newer to handguns, I definitely wouldn't recommend this small OG Hellcat. Maybe the RDP, the version with a external compensator on it. But for someone who's been shooting for a little bit, I would say this is your go-to. And the only way you can get good with any handgun that you're going to carry is to bring it to the range. If this is your carry gun, but you own a Glock 19, this has to go with you to the range every time. You still need to put rounds to this every single time you go to the range. Someone once told me you're only as good as your last shots, and that's true. Therefore, I take my last shots out of my carry guns, and the last trip, or it doesn't necessarily have to be your last shots, but your last trip to the range should be with your carry firearm. Now, it's still one of the smallest with capacity. I think the only other handgun that's tying it right now is the FN Reflex. So it's still a world-leading handgun in capacity. We're going to see, though, when this Walther PDK comes out, how it stacks up with the Hellcat. It's probably going to be bigger, a little bit more shootable, better trigger, but the Hellcat I just trust my life with, and I trust my kids' life with. Even though there's all these new releases, I think the Hellcat is still one of the premier handguns on the concealed carry market. Simple as that. It's versatile, it's reliable, it's well built. If you've ever seen the internals of a Hellcat, it's built like an absolute tank. The rails are beefy. They put lubrication in the right spots. I mean, it's literally the perfect concealed carry oriented handgun. Now, in terms of a defensive fight, is this going to be enough? Yes. Are you going to be able to shoot it well? Yes. But the number one thing I always have to point out still with smaller handguns like this is your draw. Now, of course, you can put that 13-round mag in or the 15-round mag, and that's really going to help with your draw. But if you carry with the flush mag or the pinky extension mag, you really, really need to put emphasis on training dry fire practice while drawing. You really have to work on your draw with smaller grip handguns. For instance, a Glock 48, you're not going to have that problem with, but that's where I said, throw in that larger mag and you're going to have a much easier time gripping it. So that's the only thing that I would say you need to work on in terms of defensive fighting with a pistol, is getting that draw. After that, this thing's going to go bang. Shots are going to go where you put them. Just train with it. So is the Hellcat still something I recommend to my whole entire audience and viewers? Of course I do. And once again, you can always use code SPNF at Optics Planet to save you some money, because I'm telling you, this right here is my favorite optic. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.